Here at Alternate Reality, we have always believed that kids are the future of this industry, and that's why I have the largest kids selection of any other store anywhere. Come on down to Alternate Reality and you'll find comics and trade paperbacks on Pixar characters like Toy Story and Cars, Muppets, Disney, Simpsons, DC and Marvel characters, of course, like Tiny Titans, Scooby-Doo, Spider-Man, and Marvel superheroes. I also have a large selection of girls comics and girls-related trade paperbacks, as well as illustrated classics and a whole lot more. Readers are leaders, so come on down to Alternate Reality with your little one and pick up some comics that both of you can enjoy.
It's time for Week in Review, where Comic Book Man looks back, usually with regret.
I leave you alone for a few minutes, and what happens?
If the question is, what happened last March 23rd, 2011, then the answer is Shop Talk.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for Week in Review, and this is Week in Review Shop Talk edition for March the 23rd, 2011. We're going to talk a little bit of news right now. We're going to talk about C2E2. We're going to talk about Dick Tracy. We're going to talk about Warner's having a problem with racism. And joining me for Shop Talk are the pros from Dover themselves, good old JR, and even gooder old Bo.
Good or older.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey, we're doing great.
Quite fine.
Hey, you know, we had a convention in town last week. It
What?
was C2E2. Were you there?
No, I wasn't.
Sure you were. Were you there?
I was there.
And I was there, too.
I didn't see you. Where were you?
I was wandering around with the
You were
32,000
hanging
other
out with
people.
Lori Holden, weren't you?
I was following that girl dressed as Supergirl.
Ooh, baby.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was following
following
I
her.
was following
Woo!
Power Girl. That's what I was.
Woo! Cosplay, win or fail. Anyway, C2E2, it was a hit. Last weekend, it drew 34,000 fans. That's up 25% from 2010. They moved it into McCormick Place West. Last year it was in McCormick Place East, the big old building, the big black one, which they're going to be tearing down. Are they still talking about tearing
No, it's
it down?
still sitting there.
But, no,
It's
yeah, I
supposed
know,
to
but
be
are
coming
they
down.
supposed to be tearing it down?
Well, at some point, but who's going to pay to tear it down? So.
Well, when they put the casino there, I assume the casino will
you
probably
got to
pay
get
for
a
it.
casino license first.
Oh, that'll take care of itself. I think that'll take care of itself sometime real soon. But this time, like I said, it was in the West Building. Everything was closer together than it was last year. It was one of the complaints with last year. The panels and the dealer's room.
Yeah, you had to.
And everything was
when,
spread.
When we got there last year, you had to walk like forever to get to the convention. Then you had the convention part over here. Then if you wanted to go to the
You also had to
panels,
walk forever to get to the parking lot.
Yeah, then if you wanted to go to the panels, you had to walk across the where you just went, and then walk up a staircase and go around the corner. And I don't know where they hit.
It was
the,
very
manga
spread out
folks. It was
last
very, very spread out. So this year, West Building made more sense.
Yes, it made a lot more sense. This year they added some guests from Hollywood. Chris Helmsworth, the man who's playing Thor in the upcoming Thor film that'll be out this summer. Also, the Chuck cast was there, the Walking Dead cast.
Well, two people. I don't know if they call it the Walking Dead cast.
Well,
Lori Holden and
folks
and
from
John
Chuck
Bernthal.
and folks from Walking Dead were there.
They had a couple of folks from True Blood there, too.
The True Blood, yeah, they were there too. They said that panel went quite well.
As well as Elijah Dokshu.
Eliza Dushku, she was there as well.
Dushku.
So everybody was drooling.
And they added shuttle service. If you were downtown in the Loop, you could get to McCormick Place very easily via a shuttle bus, which ran on a fairly regular schedule back and
And this
forth.
wasn't a crappy shuttle bus. These were Greyhound buses.
Yeah.
These were luxury buses that took you from downtown right around Monroe to the hotel.
Yeah, these weren't crappy little shuttles. These were
These
actual
are big
Greyhounds.
buses. You Greyhound buses.
Next year, they're coming back again next year. Same place, McCormick Place. I don't know if it's going to be West. I would assume it would be. They went pretty good this year.
They said they like the location. It'll be in the same spot. They don't have a date yet, but they're assuming it'll be more or less around St. Patrick's Day, although Chuck Finsterman, I think that's the guy who does it, he said that they did it last year around St. Patrick's Day and ended up losing a couple people because they were apparently celebrating too much. You couldn't make it to the con. So.
Having it St. Patrick's Day weekend is probably not the best idea
Not
in
a
the
good
world.
time. Not
People are
Chicago.
doing other things in Chicago during St. Patrick's
Well, unless
Day
they
weekend.
integrate the St. Patrick's Day into the convention and serve liquor.
Yeah, well,
Well, you can do that.
yeah, come down to C2E2 and get loaded.
Actually, what was kind of interesting is that there was a bar, and I guess when the convention was over with, there was a bar in McCormick Place that turned into the C2E2 bar. So if you missed some people at the show, like creators, if you went there,
They're at the
they
bar.
were all sitting there hanging out and getting loaded and throwing up and signing autographs.
Yeah, great, throwing up and signing autographs.
Just like Red Lantern.
Just like Red Lantern.
I know Adam Hughes was at the bar signing autographs. One of my customers, he won something at an auction, and he took it down. He went down to the bar. There was Adam Hughes, and Adam Hughes did a sketch for him while he was there.
Actually, I mean, it's been a long-held Chicago tradition to go up to the bar and see creators. I think one year when the old convention was going on, if you went past the bar, all the image people were all sitting there drinking and signing autographs and talking to everybody like they were just regular folk hanging out. Except for Todd McFarlane. He was a weasel.
So how'd you like the con?
I like it a lot. I think it's head and shoulders above Wizard World at this point.
What? What con? What?
Wizard
Wizard-
World.
What?
Wizard
Head
World.
and shoulders
Well,
above.
for one, because
Wizard.
you have comic companies. at
If
this
you're a
con.
comic book fan and you walk in the door and you see prominently DC, Marvel, and the other publishers, you know you're in the right place, as opposed to Wizard World when you walk in.
And see Lou Ferrigno going, "I want to buy an
Yes,
autograph for
and
20
John
bucks." 20
Delancey
bucks.
asking $50 for an autograph.
$50.
You might be in a little trouble
wouldn't
if you're a
give 'em a
comic
nickel.
book fan. So yeah, I do think C2E2 has it together after only their second convention.
Well, this is the Reed Pop people. They're doing a whole bunch of other conventions. They're also the people behind the UFC Fan Expos, which have been very, very well regarded.
Yeah.
And their next big con after that Fan Expo is they got the New York Con in October.
Yeah.
So.
And they've been doing it for a while. They just didn't start doing this a year or two ago. They've been doing this at least 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
And mostly in New York. But they're branching out to Chicago with C2E2 over the last
Yeah,
two
and they
years.
said that the people who run the con, they'll be wandering back to Chicago off and on just to let people know they're still around.
Yeah. Okay. So, thumbs up
Thumbs
for
up.
C2E2.
Yep.
Also in the news this week, Warren Beatty. Now, here in Chicago, the Chicago Tribune owns the rights to the character Dick Tracy. They have forever and ever and ever. Chester Gould originally did Dick Tracy for the Chicago Tribune. Dick Tracy is still in the Chicago Tribune, the newspaper. It's one of the strips that appears there every day, including the Sunday section.
I think this week they got a brand new artist.
They've had various artists and various writers over the years, and Warren Beatty, once upon a time, got the movie rights to do Dick Tracy. Did the Dick Tracy movie for Disney, and it was what it was. It came out. It's
Very colorful.
It's an uneven movie. It wasn't the worst movie in the world. It wasn't a
Got a
huge
couple
bomb.
Academy Award nominations.
Couple
No, it wasn't
Academy-
huge. Actually, it went quite well. I actually
Well,
saw that
it-
movie the night before. They had some
The
kind of thing
review,
at
the reviews
Esquire
were up and
Theater.
down on it.
The
reviews
reason that
weren't all-
movie performed well at the box office, or at least they speculated a good chunk of the box office, came from the fact that the very first Roger Rabbit short subject cartoon after the Roger Rabbit
on
film
the
had
head
come
of the
out
film.
was on
Yeah.
the head of the film. And there was a lot of talk that brought in a number of
I
box
saw that
office.
at
That
1201 at
Madonna.
the Esquire, and Madonna was hot at that point too, and she had songs, and so I think a couple.
And
one of the
her and
songs
Beatty
was
were an
nominated.
item at that
And her
point.
and Beatty were hanging out together.
Anyway, the reason we're talking about all this is, Bo, why don't you tell us?
Warren Beatty
Yes.
he still has the rights,
The movie rights.
the movie rights,
And
movie and
television.
TV rights. Okay.
Not the rights to the character, but the rights
No,
to do
he
movies.
still those rights. He wanted to do something else, but the people over at Tribune Company said, "We'd like our character back. Can we have it?" He goes, "No, no. My contract says as long as I do something with the character, you can't have the rights back." So he did a half-hour special which ran on Turner Classic
didn't
Movies.
run.
No, it ran. No, it did run once.
Well-
once.
It was in July 2009.
July 2009. It ran once. It was Warren Beatty
One
in
time.
character, in costume, talking about the legacy of Dick Tracy and the shorts and stuff like that. And the judge in California said, since you did that, you actually have fulfilled the terms of your contract, and so the people at the Tribune Company can't get the character back until he does something with it. Although the judge did give him a 2-year point, so the 74-year-old Warren Beatty's got 2 years to do
Yeah,
something.
he's been sitting on this property.
And if
for
you've ever
20
known
years.
anything about Warren Beatty, it takes him forever to figure out what he wants on a sandwich. So I'm assuming at some point Tribune will get all the stuff back.
Well, this is sort of like Marvel's use it or lose it deal.
Yeah, it's a use
Like
it or lose it deal. If you didn't use it, then they went back to Tribune.
Daredevil, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, those are characters that Disney doesn't have the rights to do movies of right now because they're out at other film studios as long as those studios keep some sort of production going, which is why you have a Spider-Man film and the announced Daredevil film last week, and probably a Fantastic Four film is going to be announced real soon. That's the reason why those films are in production right now, because if they don't use them, they lose them. And the same thing with Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty.
If
Now-
he doesn't get off his butt and do something with Dick Tracy in the next 2 years, then it goes back to the Tribune.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see Warren Beatty playing Dick Tracy. He is 74 years old. Maybe he'll play the police commissioner. And maybe they'll do a TV show, although the syndicated market for hour-long TV
That's
shows is
dead.
about dead.
Yeah.
He could be
So-
he could be Gramps Tracy.
He could be
Pops
Grandpa
Tracy.
Grandpa Tracy.
He could be Bob. Who was that character in the movie that everyone hated? Bob the Tramp or something like that. And their fans were upset about it because you're making fun of bums. Well, they're bums.
Yeah, the tramp, yeah,
Yeah.
who had the kid.
He had the kid.
In the first part, and Tracy rescued him from the kid.
Yeah.
And Tracy has the fight with him, and they're in the shack that goes back and forth and back and forth.
And apparently homeless groups are like, why are you making fun of bums? They're bums.
Well, it was no, and that was a Chester Gould character that was in the strip, and that's the reason why. One of the things that Beatty did do in the Dick Tracy movie is just about every character in there, except I think from Madonna's.
Who is she?
Yeah, Breathless
she's a brand
Mahoney.
new- yeah, she's a brand
Breathless
new
Mahoney. Except for Madonna's, every other character in that thing was from the strips. So, you know, he was very, very loyal to the look and feel of the comic strip.
I'll be willing to bet that he's not going to do anything with it. But yet again, he may be simply going, this will be the last thing I do, so what the hell?
You know, I'll bet he might get something off the ground production-wise.
Yeah.
He might hand it off to someone else and let them produce it for
Well,
him.
as long as he starts it within a 2-year period, then he's covered. The distributors to keep waiting until he...
You looking forward to a Dick Tracy thing from Warren Beatty?
I would watch it definitely. I just wonder about the financial feasibility of such a thing. Who
This strip's
knows
not
what
exactly very
Dick
popular.
Tracy is
and
anymore.
actually, the only thing Beatty could do at this point, since he is old, he can't direct the film.
Well, I think that Dick Tracy isn't any more popular or unpopular than any other thing you might want to do out there that's comic related.
Well, it's all apples and oranges. I mean, if you're going to take a shot on something, Dick Tracy's been around forever. I don't know if there's a modern audience out there who knows
Never know.
about it, a young audience.
It depends on who you had playing the character.
yeah, and how you
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
Anyway, our last story is Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers has apparently been accused of racism. This has to do with the Akira film, which, as you may or may not know, Akira is a huge comic over in Japan. It's Neo-Tokyo, post-apocalyptic or neo-apocalyptic.
Motorcycles. Most of the stuff that's seen in manga now all came from Akira.
Yeah, yeah. Akira was sort of the Superman of current Japanese manga. It was one of the first things that set the tone for the current style of manga that we've had for the last 20, 25 years.
Now, Leonardo DiCaprio's production company owns the rights. They're making a movie with Warner Brothers. The Hughes brothers, who did From Hell, are doing it. The only problem was that they released they had a casting call, and they released some names of people who were going to be in the film, and none of the people in the film are going to be Asian.
Which is sort of like having a brick play Superman.
In fact, one of the guys suggested
Except
the
worse.
possibility for the lead is Robert Pattinson from Twilight.
Great.
Well, even then, you said a Brit playing Superman. We have a Brit playing Batman.
We got a Brit playing. Yeah, we got a guy from Wales playing Batman. We got
I'm
a
a-
Brit
I'm of
it's a little more prescient when you get into nationalities. It's one thing to have a Brit play Superman. It's another thing to have Warner Orland play Charlie Chan, which is where a lot of this stems back from. Hollywood has a long and cherished history of having Anglos play Occidentals.
And
in
the
movies.
worst offender, probably hands down, has to be
Mickey
Mickey
Rooney?
in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
God.
Hello, Mr. Galati!
Which I'm
Every girl out there who loves Breakfast at Tiffany's, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, that's a
Because it's
rather
an ethnic insult.
it's a monstrous scene. But anyway, I don't think that's what Warner's is planning to do here. They're not
Well,
going
they're
to
planning
have
to make
anybody
it.
speaking
They're
pidgin
planning,
English.
they're
or
planning on
anything.
making it an American version for American audiences, but you can't have any supporting characters as Asians.
Yeah.
Because they listed all the people who are going to be in the film, all the characters. None of them are Asian.
Still won't generate any interest. Akira back then wasn't any more interesting than Akira now would be.
Yeah, but we're.
Just because Leonardo DiCaprio has a hard-on for the whole thing doesn't mean it's going to translate into
This is
massive
true.
I
box
think.
office.
Well, you know what? You know what a lot of this will tell. Watch what happens with the upcoming. And this isn't Akira by any means, but the thing that Spielberg is doing from France.
Tintin.
Tintin has absolutely no recognition here in the States. If this thing comes out and makes money, I think that you'll probably see a big push for Akira because that is at least as unknown to the general public as Tintin is.
And Warner's is looking for some big, huge science
I just
fiction
remember the only
action
person liking
blockbusters.
Akira was Roger Ebert. He was the only one just drooled all over it.
Oh, Roger Ebert loved Akira, the
And nobody else
anime
did.
when it came out.
Right.
The anime when it came out. So good job there, Warners.
But you would see that an Asian or two might fit into that.
Yeah,
While we're doing a weekend review, Captain America trailer. Saw it?
Captain America.
Saw it, loved it.
Saw it?
Yep, saw it, loved it. I'm not crazy about Cap with a gun because I'm sort of a Captain America purist. I'm also not crazy about the costume. But the scene that we talked about was, and everybody's seen this scene, the doors burst open and Cap's there and the Howling Commandos, as has been revealed now, are on either side of him. And Cap's got the shield and he's taking shots at Nazis with his gun. And that's not Captain America. I know it's a war and it's World War II and we're doing it realistic. But you know what? That's not Cap. You put up the shield, you let bullets bounce off, you let the commandos kill all the Nazis.
Not just that, I don't think they're going to show you the definitive in the trailer. I think
Well,
you have to wait to the movie to see
But
that
the
he's
trailer,
going to put down his
from
gun.
what we saw, no, he's not going to put down his gun. He's walking around with a gun. The
Yeah.
character,
In
the
modern
character,
times?
the
You haven't
character in
seen
the book is walking around with a gun right now. That's why.
Yeah.
So.
Well, at Bucky.
Yeah,
character.
he's not. Well, yeah, I've seen that drawing of the Steve Rogers Return, and he doesn't have the gun, but he's wearing the regular costume.
Yeah.
But Bucky will still be out there, and his character will still be carrying a gun.
Well, that's Bucky. That's not Captain America. That's Bucky.
But I think he'll be called Captain
I
America.
think you'll get it. I think they'll acknowledge your your outlook on it, though.
But the
Did
trailer
you see
looked
the
trailer
movie?
looked very
The
impressive.
trailer looks fun, and I think maybe I'm riffing here, but at the same time, I think this trailer really elevated how much I wanted to see this film for the fact that it looks like it's a lot of fun, but it also looks like it's a positive. It's not a dark, grim, and gritty, which they always want to take these characters down to, is that base level. This has that sort of, I hesitate to say this because I know a lot of people will roll their eyes, a Rocketeer feel. Where but it's not a
Joe,
cynical. It doesn't.
No,
feel,
Rocketeer was good.
It
We like
doesn't
Rocketeer.
feel cynical to me. It feels genuine.
Yeah.
And you've got that goofy scene of Chris Evans as a 98-pound weakling.
That's amazing to
Those,
me.
yeah, those
What
things
the
are great.
hell?
Those scenes of Chris Evans are absolutely amazing, where he weighs 98 pounds and he looks exactly like the scrawny Steve Rogers that you've seen in comics since
and
1940.
what's cute about that is the guy who's telling Steve he's going to go off and fight Thor, that's Bucky. Bucky's taller than Captain America.
Yeah, and then they put him in the sarcophagus. They shoot him full of the juice. The light show goes on, and boom, out comes 6
He
foot
comes out to a
5
muscle guy,
Mr. Buff.
and the first thing is, how you feel? He goes, taller.
I like the fight in the alley with the garbage can lid.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
well,
fighting
there-
the other garbage
That's a
can.
neat little tip, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a neat little
It's
tip.
fun. It's a nice looking trailer, and
I-
I hope it has that told throughout the whole thing.
I like the trailer. Like I said, that one part I'm not crazy about, but you know, you have to make allowances for
And
stuff.
they show you just enough Red Skull for you to go, ooh.
Yeah, he's doing a Mission Impossible. He's taking the mask off.
Now the Thor trailer, I still haven't seen anything I like, so that's a whole nother matter.
I think the Thor trailer's fine.
I do too. I do too. I know you kind of bristle at the East Houston, Idaho portion of it,
Yep.
and I can understand that viewpoint. But I do.
Yeah.
I do think the
Where's
Asgard.
Thor?
All of your cities will be like this one.
I think the Asgard.
Oh,
stuff
a
looks-
shack.
The
Okay.
Asgard stuff looks
Looks
very impressive,
fantastic
and
to me.
they just released 6 promo posters for the film, and all those promo posters look damn
Yeah.
nice.
Well, great. They did a great promo poster. I'm talking about the
You're
movie.
having a problem with the fact that he's sitting.
I'm
in a car
having a problem with the
driving Jane
movie.
Foster.
Yeah, I'm having a problem with
Well,
the
he
Melvin and
can't-
Howard part of the movie,
he
where
can't-
him and a chick are in a pickup
He's
going
in the-
cross country talking about
He's
life.
in the car because, for one, he doesn't have his hammer yet, so he can't fly.
I don't need to see that.
Where has it been established in the Iron Man films that the hammer turns up?
At the end of the Iron Man film, yeah, at the end of the last.
It
Iron
is
Man
in the
film.
middle of.
It's in the middle of New
nowhere.
Mexico.
Exactly. So that's how you have to. Have
I don't
your
need to have it established that he has to take a dump too. Okay,
No,
I
but
don't
you
need
have
to have some
a
stuff.
jumping off point
As
for the film.
Guardians don't take a crap.
I don't think they're going to have.
I hear they're space aliens.
The
so.
entire film
No.
is not going to be set there, I'm sure. Just because he fights the whatever.
He fights
Destroyer.
the
Destroyer in that
and
sequence.
in
Loki's
East
gonna-
Houston, Idaho.
Loki's going to pop up again, and he'll go back to Asgard at the end. And
There's another
Yeah.
trailer coming supposedly, so we'll see how that's going to look
Yeah, that'll
as
be the
well.
third
But I'm
trailer.
fine with it. at
Well,
this
well, the East Houston Idaho stuff. That's a homage to the George Reeves Superman, where it was 3 shacks and 2 guys
point. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
out in the desert someplace.
Will Chuck Connor show up with a donkey?
God, I hope so. Superman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll that around in your cranium. Chuck Connor's and a donkey.
Now look at here, Lilibel. Look at here what it says here.
I paid to watch a show
Dear
like that once when I was-
Superman. That's it. We are done. We are finished. We are out of here. We have got no more week in review, but you can go to the store's website and check out all the weeks in review that we do and all the other stuff that these two gentlemen send me that I post up on the store's website. And where is that website at? Oh, Sarah knows.
Yeah.
And to get to this website, all you have to do is type in www.myalternatereality.com.
So go to the store's website and check it all out. Until next time, this is Comic Book Man
And this is JR.
And this is Bo. Thank you for watching.
saying
Good night and good luck.